How do you win a game of Commander? Draw a ton of cards, make a ton of mana. Person that does that wins the game. Hi, I'm Warren with Crackerjack Games. If you like cool cards, hot deck techs, be sure to like and follow. Not check out the Mox field for this deck? Link in the comments. Looking at Gwenom Remorseless. It's release weekend, so we might as well talk about Spider-Man and all the cool commanders. We got a 5-mana Death Touch lifelinker, and when she attacks until end of turn, you get to be Bolas' Citadel. Beautiful. That sounds like card draw and mana to me. Just a reminder, Bolas' Citadel lets you play lands and cast spells from the top of your library by paying life instead of mana. So sticking this in the command zone seems like a great idea. Oddly enough, we're going to play Bolas' Citadel in this deck, just in case, you know? Oh, I didn't mention, but we're shooting for a cEDH deck here, so we got to get really unhinged and play cards that don't see a lot of play at the old casual table. One of those being Chains of Mephistopheles. So the long and the short of this card is you rummage whenever you would draw a card. So you discard a card and draw a card. If you can't discard a card, you mill one instead and you don't get a draw. So we're going to try and knock everyone's hands down to 0 cards. That makes it way easier to win in mono black. We get to play a brand new artifact, the Soul Stone. And of course, we're trying to do some reanimation stuff. So we've got Vilis, Broker of Blood, and one of my favorite wing cons running around right now, Hoarding Broodlord. This card's super powerful. You reanimate it, you get to Demonic Tutor for something, typically Saw in half, which gives you 2 more Hoarding Broodlords and thus 2 more tutors. And I don't know if you know this, but cEDH is full of 2-card win conditions. For example, this deck is trying to use Chain of Smog to make all of your opponents lose their cards, as well as the static ability of Magecraft on Professor Onyx, where each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Well, if no one has any cards in hand and you start making yourself discard cards and you copy it over and over and over again, that sounds like a win con to me. We have classic Grey Merchant of Asphodel to reanimate in this deck as well. Life is mana for Gwenom, so we might as well try and have a bunch of life. Of course, we're playing Reanimate. I don't know if you've seen the Final Fantasy version of it, but it's pretty cool. We get a little bit of Storm action in this deck, so you might want Tendrils of Agony. I didn't even know this F&M promo existed. I think this year, if you're going to Eternal Weekend, this is the prize. Not this version, but like 4 cards ever total printed of Tendrils of Agony promo. We got our classic cards we need, like Entomb. We're playing Animate Dead, and usually people play this nice Enchant Dead creature. We've got Dance of the Dead, same thing. We've got Necromancy. If you can't find one of these, I believe you can get one in a Murders at Karlov Manor precon. Sacrifice is really cool in this deck, especially with Hoarding Broodlord. It's going to give you 7 mana. We get Beseech the Queen to go find a card. Final Parting's awesome. It puts your Broodlord in the graveyard and puts the Reanimate in your hand. We are trying to do very specific things, so we might as well Cruel Tutor. And if we've activated our Bolas Citadel mode on Gwenom, we're going to be able to use that card right away. Scheming Symmetry is kind of the same idea here. And maybe we just, want to go find someone's Thassa's Oracle or something to protect us. Finally, I'm just going to casually mention Yawgmoth's Will, just to give us extra access to all the cards in our graveyard that we might have used. Now, my playgroup and I have been discussing the little bit of imbalance I think I have in my list. Again, you can find that in the Mox field link. Their biggest concern is, although we're trying to do some Storm-type stuff, we've got giant baddies that we maybe just hit off of playing from the top of our library. Well, the goal is just to get Professor Onyx and Chain of Smog going and win with that combo. So I think it's going to be okay, but I have seen other lists that lean all the way into being a Bolas Citadel deck with tons of 0 and 1 drop meaningless cards, and they just shred through their deck to create Storm and then Tendrils everybody. That seems really good. But come on, if you can play a dragon that lets you convoke 1-mana spells for essentially free, I'm in that business, and you should be too. So enjoy pre-release weekend. If you find a Gwenom, be sure to build it. It'll be hard to not have a good time, and the art's super killer. Hope this helps.